My name is Genevieve Tucker. Thank you for tuning in to the Northern Static Series on CFUR 88.7 FM. You can find us online at cfur.ca. We're broadcasting from the traditional unceded territory of the Lheidli First Nation, and this initiative is made possible by the Community Radio Fund of Canada. Lorissa Scriven's distinctive brand of earthy folk has its roots deep in the river valleys of northern British Columbia, where she grew steeped in music and wild places among the spruce and aspen of her hometown of Taylor, BC. This Saulteau Nations woman found songs spontaneously happening inside her as naturally as a river flowing. Her life is imbued with creative magic. She chooses to be inspired every day, whether by a fleeting moment of light or a wayward feather found in the woods. She's working hard at breathing life into her dreams and making some potent music along the way. ellescriv, welcome to the Northern Static Series.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here.
Me too.
Yeah, I was really hoping that you'd say yes to all of this when we approached you. I was like, please, we need this. It would be so good.
I was like, that sounds really scary. I should probably say yes.
Yeah, I guess it does sound a bit scary, hey? It's like...
I mean, the radio, yeah.
Is it the radio part that is scary, like your voice, or is it like the visual?
I think it's more live radio.
Right.
There's like a couple interviews that I've done where like I actually started talking about like Willie Nelson's braids for some reason. I was like, why did you go down that rabbit hole? But that's what happens to me.
Well, it's a good thing for us. It's not live technically, so we can edit anything out that you'd like us to.
Beautiful. That's what I like.
Well, let's go back to the beginning so our listeners can get to know you a little bit more. Yeah, what drew you to start playing music?
I was an only child. I was really born an entertainer. I always liked to like make up songs and sing them. I always wanted to be a singer. I had like this specific stool that I would always stand on to sing. And my parents obviously were like, oh, she's interested in music. And my grandma really wanted me to take piano lessons. So she put me through piano lessons. I was a really, really bad piano student. I was not interested in the theory aspect at all. I think I had a lot of natural rhythm, and I think I learned by ear. So trying to teach me the exercises or like theory, I was just like, I don't care. Like, I just want to play a song. I want to be able to sing a song.
Yeah.
And I don't want to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. Like, I'm not into that. That was really hard way to start my journey because it was so frustrating. Once I found the right teacher that was like, oh, she just like, I just play it and then she does it. Like, we don't have to do the book and the whole thing. Like, that would be good, but maybe once you're a bit older, like now, I would like to do that now. But my dad always played music too. He played guitar. Sometimes on Friday nights, it would be like, we'd watch CBC. There would be like music specials on, and it was like a ritual where we'd watch all the shows, and then we would like throw pom-poms at each other. And then my dad would get his guitar out, and like he'd start like with the acoustic guitar, but then he would get out his electric guitar, and I would be like, whoa. And it would just be like this party. So then eventually he taught me how to play guitar, and we would play and sing together anytime we were camping. And then I just started going to YouTube to learn a little bit further and teach myself. I knew that I could sing, but I was very quiet and very reserved, so I was like scared to like use my own voice. I think I did a lot of mimic singing.
Right.
Like, I don't know if you ever did that.
I mean,
you're singing, but
I remember a lot of people saying like you need to find your voice, and it's like, what does that mean?
Like, you're like,
it's such a hard thing to.
Oh, Shakira, I can do that voice. Britney
Yeah.
Spears, sure. Spice Girls, yeah. But yeah, what does your actual voice sound like?
Yeah.
I think it took a long time to like find that, or just
Totally.
like lean into that. But once I did, it was kind of funny. It was like I wrote a song, like a really funny song when I first like had a non-relationship relationship in high school and like, you know, wrote the saddest song ever about things that you know nothing about. I was just like to my parents, I'm like, yeah, I wrote a song, and they were like, oh really? Wow, cool. Can we hear it? And I was like, no, I can't. You can't look at me when I'm singing, like that's not allowed. Eventually it was like warmed up to like letting them hear me sing, but I made everybody like stand outside of my walk-in closet, and I went into my walk-in closet and sang the song, and they're like, oh, you actually can sing, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that can be such a scary thing, like, and I feel like that's the hardest part, is playing it in front of like the people who you love the most in the world too.
Yeah, I was just like so wrapped up in like them looking at my face when I was singing, like I was like embarrassed for them to see like my mouth moving. Why?
That's also really young to be starting songwriting too.
Yeah, well, I was like 16, 17.
Okay, yeah.
So to me, I was like, it's quite late to like become a songwriter now. Like, I'm too old.
Did you keep a journal when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did your songs like come from that journaling experience, you find, or
Definitely not?
No, okay.
My journals, like, I don't know if you kept journals.
I did.
You read your old journals?
Oh yeah, I have like volumes of journals. It's scary. I hope no one ever reads them.
Yeah, mine are like very chaotic. I'm just like, what are you even talking about? I'd love to know.
Yeah, you've been involved in like quite a few different projects over the years. I went on a deep dive on you on YouTube.
Oh, fun.
No. I spent hours. Like, there's a lot of content out there, and I loved it. I had so much fun. I felt like, wow, I know you a lot better, but I know it's not the same. But yeah, I had a lot of fun, and I really appreciated all of the creativity that you put into a lot of these videos. And I'm just curious, like, yeah, you could see like it seemed like you're enjoying actually creating it as well. Like, your love for the creation process like really shines through.
That's good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And like, it's over, I think the oldest video I found was like from like 14 years ago. That's a big...
Oh my gosh, I wonder what that was.
No, it was nothing but good stuff. Yeah, can you walk me through some of these projects, I guess? Like your first initial, I guess, band, duos, and then what led you to where you are now?
I started playing guitar and piano because I needed a vehicle for singing, but also sometimes I really just wanted to make something visual, like a video, and then it would be like, I need a vehicle for the video, so I need to make a song. I think in my early 20s when I was living alone, there would be like nights that were really special where I would spend like the first 5 hours just making a song and like producing it. I wasn't like good at it or anything, but I was making purely out of my brain. I wasn't like judging myself, I guess. So I'd spend like a good chunk of time just making the song, and then I'd get really excited about it. And then I'd be like, okay, now I need to make a visual because people don't pay attention to just audio. You need both. I would stay up really late, like till 6 o'clock in the morning, like just making like something so weird. Like I'd be like filming my teapot or like dressing up as like a rabbit. I don't know, like just like filming my cat, and then overlaying all sorts of stuff that just would come to me through the song, or like I don't know. Always like with the elements too, I'd like need there to be like a fire, and I'd like need to have some sort of like water element in there too, and like I feel like I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
And I miss it. But that was like a very big part of my early 20s. And then I moved to Ontario, and I met my bandmates there.
Okay.
And it was always kind of a dream of mine to have like a folk trio, and we made an album. Our band was called Wildwood Soul. We did some touring around Ontario and BC, and then in order to get to Ontario from BC, we did a little bit of prairies, but it's like, I think I was 23, so it was like very, very crazy to like take that on at that age. I feel like being like somebody from a very small town and like not really knowing what you're doing. And I'm like, we're just out here. It's so silly. We're playing songs.
I feel like that's almost the best time to do it though, because you're almost like, you're a little bit unaware of like all of the things that maybe could go wrong. Right? So you're like you not scared of that. You're like, whatever. I'm just doing it.
What if we get a flat tire?
Patch it.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
Nothing bad happened because you're so naive. You're just yeah. So after that, we released our album in 2019. Like it took us quite a few years before we got to like the recording, because I moved back to BC, and it's hard to be in a band when you live in different parts of Canada. So we finally recorded our album, released it in 2019. Zach became a dad, and it just was like, okay, you're gonna be a dad now, and that's what you need to do, and I'm way over here. So I just started to kind of work on my own thing, and then I met my partner Matt, and we started to play music together. He had a lot of great ideas for my songs, and so my new album is co-produced by him. Kind of taken my songs out of the folk realm, which I'm actually like excited about, because I just found I wasn't like listening to that music as much. Right. I was like going through a change where I was like, I don't even know what I'm into anymore. I'm like kind of into everything. As for my own sound, I'm like, I don't even know what that is anymore. So that's kind of where I'm at now, where I'm just like kind of rediscovering what direction I want to go.
I also came across an ASMR video on your YouTube.
Oh.
Was that a one-time thing, or was this an avenue that you wanted to go down?
I thought it was private, but
I was surprised. I was like, what is this?
Okay, well, it's not me whispering into the camera with my face.
Can you give us your best ASMR whisper?
I can't.
I'm just kidding. No, it's like nature sounds.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I went through a period of time where I loved the ASMR videos. And I was just like, this is the most weird thing. I can't believe this is real, that people are just doing this.
Yeah.
And I love it because, I don't know, I just like love details.
Yeah.
And it's just such a detail thing. But yeah, it's like nature sounds. It's the water, the matches.
Yeah. It's lovely.
Thank you.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I would like to do more stuff like that. I think at that time there was like a lot of people asking me to come and do music at yoga. And I was like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't really know what your expectation of like me singing at yoga is.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you do?
My bandmate Brock actually has done that a few times. He didn't sing. He just played electric guitar and like noodled and made these like kind of like ethereal.
See, like that makes a lot of sense. But like for me, like I'm like my guitar is like the vehicle for singing. I'm not like a prodigy guitar player.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel the same way. Yeah.
I just didn't play some chords for yoga. It'd be weird.
Your first album, Be the Change, came out in 2010. Have you listened to that recently? Have you gone back and listened to the songs? Or do you play any of those songs still today?
I definitely don't play any of the songs. But I have listened to it, like, within, like, a year or so.
Yeah.
I think it's really cute.
Yeah.
I honor it because it was such a pivotal moment in my life, I think, releasing that and like affirming that I could be an artist.
Yeah.
I was like allowed. And I think just my first producer, Rob Gwillem, he just really believed in me as an artist, and it really helped my confidence. But yeah, the album is really cool. I had so many people play on it just for free, and that was such a gift.
Yeah.
I had Russell Broom, who's like Jan Arden's guitar player.
Wow.
Played on it, and he was just like, yeah, just buy me some chocolate and it's cool.
Where was it recorded?
Calgary.
Okay. That's pretty special. That was your first album, right?
It was. I did do some recording prior to that, but it was not like a positive experience. And so for a lot of young women, like, it can be scary. Like, your first experience, I would say, don't trust anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't trust anyone who thinks they're gonna make you a star. Just go with your gut. Like, I feel like I always tell young artists that, like, you can do it yourself. Learn those skills yourself, because then you'll be able to discern who you can trust.
Yeah, that's great advice.
Yeah.
And it's hard advice to take, though, when you're younger and you don't know. Like, well, everyone else knows more than me, so I have to listen. Or
yeah. And I feel like you're so excited to do something. Like, somebody has a studio and you're like, oh, cool. Like, I've never been to a studio.
Yeah.
You don't care who they are. And you're like, oh, they want to help me. Not all people have good intentions or the same intentions. And so that, like, first experience, I feel like it was really good that I had that experience so that I knew the difference. Because then with my next experience, it was just like, oh,
yeah,
it's supposed to feel like this. And it was a really beautiful time in life to just, like, feel that change.
Yeah.
I
was listening to an interview of yours from last year, and you were talking about your latest release, Wandering the Pine, and you're talking about the release party.
Oh.
And it sounded like a really, really cool, magical experience. Not just a show, but there's a whole other part of it. Can you tell us about that, and just a little bit about, like, what that means to you to be able to curate a space?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited you're asking me this, because I'm doing it again this
year.
Cool. It's really, really nice to have full control of an event. I have played so many events where they just don't feel right, or they don't feel like they fit me. And I'm always, like, trying to figure out, like, what that space, what that ideal space for my music is. And it's hard to figure out. So with Wandering the Pine, like, I knew I wanted to do a release party for the album. All the venues in Fort St. John, I was like, it just doesn't really feel right. I don't feel like I want it to be in town. I feel like it needs to be in the woods. But then I'm like, if I build it, will they come? Will everybody want to come to the woods? Like, what if they want to have a beer and then they have to drive and then they don't want to come because of that? Or, like, I don't know. So I decided that I would do it. I was like, it's a bit of a gamble. I'm going to rent out this, like, summer camp, which is called Cameron Lake Outdoor Education Center. And it's in Hudson Hope. So it's near Peace Valley Folk Fest, which you've played. And it's so beautiful. It's, like, really close to my nation, Saulteau. There's mountains. There's a beautiful lake. They have cabins for everybody to stay in. And so I turned it into, like, a camp out. And I had a lot of help from my mom. We went and set up, like, this wonderland with, like, pine branches and tried to make it, like, really special. I'm such like a details, aesthetic, good feeling in the room, just to start in a good way and like then bring the music. So yeah, my little cousin came and opened the show. Cool. And then played with my band, and everybody came, everybody camped.
Yeah.
We had like a drum circle after the show and had a campfire, and then in the morning it was just like everybody was still there. Everybody had the time to like digest what happened, and I had the time to actually spend with the people. Because it always bums me out, you play a show and you don't actually get to talk to anybody who's there. And you're like, oh, that was so cool that so-and-so was there. You're like laying in bed thinking about it. You're like, crap, I didn't get to say hi. And they went home. But everybody stayed.
Yeah.
So I trapped them in the woods and they couldn't leave.
I don't think there's any service at Cameron Lake either.
There's no service.
Yeah, smart.
And I designed the cocktail list too. Like I was like,
cool,
making spruce tip reduction syrup.
Yeah.
Making martinis out of that, and like I was gluing pine cones to sticks with moss, and like I was so intense about even the cups, the vessels of the bar, and like everybody's like, this is so amazing. And I'm like, well, I've been working at a cafe for the last like 8 years, and like I need to use that. Like I just like love curating a nice setting.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love that. I wish I was there. I'm jealous.
You should come. I'm having another one.
So you're doing another one. Okay.
I'm having another one. I don't have a new album, but I was like, I don't think it matters.
No.
I think that it's really important. It's kind of in a way like giving back to that community of people that I've built. I think it's really important for us in the North to have things like this that feel good and feel safe and aren't just like the same old thing.
Yeah.
Go to the bar, have some drinks, feel weird, and leave.
That's perfectly sums up. Have some drinks, feel weird, and leave.
And leave. I'm like, the formula is so boring, and like nothing is exciting. There are places where it is, but like oftentimes it's not that exciting or special. It doesn't feel special. Like I want to bring like that city feeling that like you get excited when you see the menu, or you get excited when you see the room and you're happy to be in the room, that you get to be in the room. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to get something going, and because people really liked it, I was like, okay, I'll do it again. Cool. And maybe I do it every year. Yeah. Maybe it's the one show I play at home every year.
So you have some new fun music videos out with your newest EP.
I do.
Yeah. Can you tell me about about these videos and where you gathered the inspiration for them?
So I got funding actually to do these videos, which is awesome. So I hired Jesse McCallum, who I've always we've been talking about working together for a long time, and I was like, hey, we should finally do that thing. Yeah. And I know that he has great ideas and he's really good at what he does. And I was a figure skater for 20 years. Yeah. I was so just frustrated with the music at skating all the time. I was just like, why does it have to be that? I don't want to skate to some weird soundtrack from some movie. I don't want to skate to classical music. That makes me feel nothing. I want to emote on the ice. That's why I'm doing this. And so I was a very stubborn skater, and I would skate to the weirdest songs. I think I skated to Sandstorm for my solo when I was 17. And I remember looking at there's this one judge that would always be and he just hated it, and then I'd be like, I wonder if like that'll affect my score. At least I'm like having fun.
Yeah.
Not skating to like Fairlease or something. So yeah, it was like my dream as a teenager to like skate to my own song.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that'd be the ultimate if I could play a show on the ice. Like, imagine I was just singing and doing my solo. Like,
Wow.
it seems impossible to me right now because I have a lung infection. But we did it. We were like, I was like, I have this idea. It's kind of weird. Like, I want to rent the arena. I want to put a fog. I found out after that, like, the fog was bad. Like, apparently in the arena they have, like, defogging.
Oh.
And they, like, came out and they were like, oh, God, the thing's not working. And we were like,
I don't know what happened.
I don't know who did that. But, yeah, geez, you might better check those out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but we filmed in there and we did, like, slow motion skating.
Cool.
To the song. And then I had a publicist that got an article for me, and it was really funny because they're talking about the video and they're like, it's really odd. It's a really odd video.
Odd.
That features ellescriv practicing skating.
20 years of figure skating.
They're like, we don't really get it. And I'm just like, it doesn't matter. It's not for you. You aren't my people. Get out of here.
Clearly not.
Don't write about me then.
I thought it was beautiful.
I thought it was cool too. I was
really
like,
great.
Never mind.
They don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, and then you have another one for Too Lazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
With the animals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that one. It's so fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was like, we had really big ideas for that one. Jesse had this vision with my dog, because I have like a big black dog. We wanted to film like me on a walk with my dog, and then she gets off the leash and runs away from me, but the dog morphs into a man. And then it's like a man running away into the woods, and I'm like chasing him throughout the video. But then I keep getting distracted by woodland creatures.
Yeah.
But it's just like my friends dressed up as animals. And we were like, it's going to be so epic. It's going to be so funny. And then at the end, like the man running away will just get away. But then I'll like find my partner, my now partner, and he'll be dressed up as like a little fox, and I'll just sit down beside him. But then we realized, holy smokes, it's a lot of people to organize and a lot of costumes to make. And maybe we just need to get this done. So I ended up making only 5 costumes, doubles. So my partner Matt and I dressed up in 2 different costumes.
I was wondering that if it was him in both.
We did some fancy tricks there. Jesse's daughter, Marley, we convinced her to be in the video and be this mouse that was just like disrupting the scene. And it was so funny because I got her like this really silly costume from the thrift store, and she like didn't want to wear it. It was too small for her. Like, she's quite tall. Yeah. It looked really silly, and she's just like, I don't know about it. But then she was like, yeah, okay, I'll wear it. Yeah. And then she like got really into it, and I'm like, oh, she's dancing and she's doing all these things. Yeah. So it's turned out really cute, and it's probably my favorite one.
You've navigated the independent music world quite thoroughly over the last almost like 20 years. What's your take on the current state of the industry right now?
I just don't know anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like everything that I thought I knew, I don't know anymore. And I don't really know how to navigate releasing new music. I don't really feel that it's being seen in the same way, or if people are even seeing it. I feel like music is so disposable now that it just disappears, which is sad. I think my only way to combat that is like doing things like that party I was telling you about, and realizing that, you know, we try to do so many things in order to like gain more of a following. And I feel like nowadays, like, that just doesn't matter. And if you just like focus on the people that you have that are like your supporters, that are always going to support you and like are genuinely like invested in what you do and love what you do, it just feels better. Because like trying to get those numbers or like trying to convert people, like, it feels gross.
Yeah.
It's gross, and I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, when you're filling out a grant application, they're like, how many followers do you have on this platform and this platform, and how many likes do you have on your YouTube? And
it's just like, no thank you.
Yeah.
That's not why I'm here.
It's kind of yucky.
It's not what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm not a product.
Yeah. Yeah, good answer. What's a non-musical passion of yours that fuels or inspires your creativity?
I really like making things.
Yeah.
With like my hands. I like drawing. I love like collaging and like graphic design. Lately I've been doing a lot of that type of stuff, just creating visuals. I don't know that it fuels my music. Maybe it does, because actually this most recent show that's called On Dreamer Time, I started just making the poster, and I didn't have a show. I just really had this idea for a poster that I wanted, a show poster that I wanted to make. And this was like before I even said the show out loud. And then my partner's like sitting there, and I was like, what do you think of like if I have this show and I hire these people and like blah blah blah? And he's like, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And then I'm like, cool, here's the poster. I already made it. Here it is.
It's happening.
I didn't have a date. I didn't have anything like confirmed, but I was just like, I just really wanted to make the thing. So now it's a real thing.
What's next for ellescriv?
I really want to take some time to figure out where my music is going to take me next. I feel like I've been so focused on the business of things and just like getting bogged down by like the communication of the things. Like, it can get very tiring when you're trying to book shows all the time, or you feel really bad because you're not answering emails.
Yeah.
You're feeling bad because you haven't released something in a while. I am planning to play a couple things this summer. I'm going to play a Two Rivers remix. I'm going to Kingcome Inlet to play a little festival. All like smaller gatherings, which is really what I'm focused on now. But I am gonna take some time this summer. I'm going to rent a cabin near water. I don't know where, but I'm going to like detach from my responsibilities for like 2 weeks and just like see if anything comes, because I feel like I need to strip away all that stuff in order to like have an original thought. And I feel like it's been a while, like I haven't been writing as much because I feel really stable in life right now, and music usually comes to us when we're feeling intense emotions.
Yeah.
And I've just been having a stable, nice time. I hope I'm still got songs. I don't want to write like happy days.
Yeah.
It's sunny. I love my cat. Like, I don't know what to write about right now.
Well, let's move on to the song exploration piece of the hour. Yeah, let's dig into some of the songs off of Wandering the Pine. The first one we're going to listen to is Ay Ay Ay.
What if the red balloon over American bounds is any indication? 'Cause here I am avoiding my own magic when I can be creating. And I can be a slowpoke, I know how to take my time. I could spend all days just lost in a daydream, wandering the pine. But I might always be certain and carrying a lamp at night, creeping like a grandfather. Something about it just hits right. Reality and dreams collide. That is the conscious smile. Running down dreams. While I still rubbing the sleep out of my Would I regret not becoming a mother? Is it still a question if you have to wonder? And honestly, monogamy still baffles me. And the classic formula for life is calling. Is the notion to pick up tomorrow rolling? The decisions you make are the right ones if they're the one you make. You can be a slowpoke, you don't have to model what you see portrayed. But you might always be certain and carrying a lamp at night, creeping like a grandfather. Something about it just hits right. Reality and dreams collide. That is the conscious smile. You're running down dreams while I still rubbing the sleep out of my
Wow. I love this song. I love the whole EP. I've been saying that all day. I'm like, that's a hit. That's a hit.
Thank
That's a hit.
you.
But for real, like, I really do love it. And I relate to this song in particular, I feel, a lot with the lyrics. It just kind of brings up these, like, thought spirals about life that I find myself kind of consumed by. Kind of wondering if I'll ever be content, disciplined, or on time. I feel like I'm always missing the mark and I'm never on time. Yeah, it's
Just feel like you're always gonna be bad.
I'm always going to be late for something.
We aren't meant to live on these schedules.
No, we're not. And I think it really makes the listener think, well, it made me think, and ask themselves questions. it kind of opens up a conversation. That's what
Yeah.
this song does to me. Can you tell me in your own words, I guess, what the song means to you and how it came to be?
It's actually funny that you say that because I feel like this song was born out of everybody else asking me questions. I think when you turn 30, like, there's like this second puberty that you go through where you're like, I'm uncomfortable. I feel like I should be doing all the adult things by now. And I feel like our generation, you know, we aren't doing the things on the previous generation's schedule.
Yeah.
And so they have a lot of questions for us, naturally. I think I've spent a lot of my life just kind of like trying to defend my stance on who I want to be.
That's exhausting.
It's exhausting. But also, I think it's good when you are forced to make that stand for yourself constantly and remind yourself, like, why is that important to you? I don't know what else to say about it, but
Yeah, I think it really speaks for itself.
yeah.
How often are you sitting down writing your songs on piano? And if they do start on piano, like, is that where they stay, or do you ever move them to different instruments?
Usually, like, I feel like my process is kind of crazy, but maybe it's the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
Usually, whatever instrument it starts on, it stays on.
Yeah.
I almost always start with a chord progression of some kind. And then I'm just like mumbling around trying to find a melody. I'm really into like counting my syllables and like having things line up perfectly. It's odd because I'm like such a asymmetrical type of person in every other aspect. I just really like that, building that structure. Yeah, just letting like the lyrics find me in that way.
Yeah, what's your experience with writer's block? Like, do you experience that, or?
Yeah. I go through like years of it
Okay.
sometimes, and like it's scary, but I'm learning that like it's not forever. I will have a song and I'll forget that I even did something. Like, I will tell you this right now, like, yeah, I have writer's block, but I think I wrote like 3 songs last year that are just, you know, kind of hidden away. But it's just not the time for them yet. Or like, I've done lots of writing, but it's been through social media or just like other projects or writing about other people. Or I feel like I'm always writing. And even like a nice, well-crafted like text to someone. Wait, I should save that. I had some kind of clever little thoughts in there. I don't know. I'm not collecting them anywhere.
What do you find like keeps you away from creating the most?
I think just like lack of confidence sometimes, like self-doubt creeps in, or like you play a wrong show, like somewhere that doesn't fit you, and then you can get like thrown off and you're like, why am I even doing this? Like, if you as a quiet singer go play at a bar and nobody's listening and nobody values the words or wants to hear you talk, you're like, okay, wait, that's like everything I value about it though, and that's the reason I'm here. Should I be out here? So I think when I go through periods of time after something like that, it's like me really questioning like if I want to continue doing that. But I think the way back is just like building your own scene.
Yeah.
And doing something that feels good to you and presenting things that you want to present in ways that feel good.
I love the chorus and how it's so filled with imagery. It really feels like you are in the forest, kind of walking around, carrying a lamp. And yeah, I like the line creeping like a grapevine too. It's just, it's got a really cool image.
That really came from my, I was sitting at my desk and I have this window in my kitchen that has a grapevine
Yeah.
that creeps across it all summer.
Cool.
Until it's like just a stained glass grape window.
Yeah. I love it.
So I was just looking at it. I was like, it's just like me.
Just move it along.
So slow.
Yeah. And this song encompasses the title of the album, Wandering the Pine. Do you think that this song kind of sets the theme for the EP?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, like, well, it's where I got the title from, because I have like this special spot in my yard. It's like it was a really cool old growth pine forest when I was a kid, and when I was, I think, around like 15, 16, the pine beetle came and took them all out. And it's like been like a reoccurring theme in my life, like with trees. At that time, like being a teenager, like really needing my safe forest, and like for it to just get like obliterated was like super jarring. And now they are starting to come back. They're now towering over my head again, and I have like my special spot back. And I used to always go in there as a kid because I really was like such a daydreamer. I always was talking to myself and like singing to myself, or like just acting out scenarios.
Yeah.
But I would be like super self-conscious of like my grandma or my mom like seeing me out the window, so I would just like take off to the woods and do all my weird stuff in there. That's where my weird stuff comes from.
Yeah.
Is wandering the pine.
I love it. Okay, let's move on to the song Brain on Fire.
Last night the rain was falling on our abstract friendship. Your words were bricks weighing me down. I said, oh, don't you ruin this, the brain on fire, you bullshit. Hold up, don't tell me how I feel. gosh, what the hell went wrong? I tried to explain it, but I couldn't without a song. Some things have their day, and then the night comes.
Okay, we just heard the song Brain on Fire. Okay, let's talk about it.
So, have you ever felt that a lot of your early relationships you did not choose?
Okay, yeah.
This has been a theme for me, I guess. Having people like throw their feelings at me and then convincing me that they are mine. Yeah, this was like a scenario where I found myself in like a situation that I didn't know how I got into it, and I didn't know how to get out of it. And I didn't know what to say, so I wrote a song instead.
Does this person, do you think they've heard the song?
No, I don't think so.
Would you want them to hear the song?
I don't need them to,
Yeah.
but if they did, then I think it would be cool.
Yeah. It was like healing enough for you to just,
Yeah, I just needed to say what I needed to say, and
Yeah.
it's funny because it's like, you know, it's like deeply personal, but I feel like it's still kind of relatable.
yeah, the song, it feels super honest to me, and I felt like it painted a very like clear picture that is definitely relatable, I think, to a lot of people. And writing those like honest thoughts that are like personal to you, yeah, like how does that feel? Do you find that comes across in your songwriting a lot?
I do.
Yeah.
I think when I first was writing songs, like I was very much a mumbler because there would be like the people would be at the show and you'll be
Right,
like,
yeah.
I don't want you to hear the words.
no.
I would just like mumble through them, and then it kind of just became part of like my style of singing to be like not a super enunciated singer,
Yeah.
which I get a lot of flack for sometimes, but
Yeah, but that's your style, and
I'm like, it's the mystery.
and there's also this really great feature on Apple Music that you can actually
You
read
can read
the
the
lyrics
words now.
while
Yeah.
you're singing if you really want to get into it, which I did.
Exactly.
I read and I listened, and I love that because I'm huge on lyrics. It's
Me
it's my
too.
favorite piece of the music.
Have you ever just
yeah.
like had a song that you really love and then you have no idea what it's about?
Yeah.
And then you go listen to the lyrics and you're like, wait,
Yeah.
oh.
And it can kind of change it, I guess. Change maybe your
It
feelings
can.
about the song.
But like, it's
Or
whatever
enhance
it
it.
is to you also.
Totally. Yeah. On your latest release, like what's the most song you feel like most connected to and proud of, and if you can pick one?
I like Brain on Fire. I thought it would be like, it was my favorite one when we started. I just like the feeling of it. But I think in the end, I was one of my favorites. Also, Longer was the one that everybody liked
Yeah.
the most, which was surprising to me because I was like, that one was like very much an afterthought, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw it on here.
Yeah.
And then it was like, everybody loved it. I was like, but I think I is probably the one I'm most proud of.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being here and spending time with us on a Sunday afternoon here in studio at CFUR 88.7 FM for the Northern Static Series.
Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime.
I can't believe we made it here after playing a show last night.
I know. We did it.
We did it. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
shadows seem to burn over and over again. Circles in my mind, knots I can untie, visions that remind me of where I wanted to be. But we forgot dreams, and we are getting tired. But that doesn't mean throw out all the seeds and fall apart. Distract myself online, look for something comfort. Hey, like recipes I won't cook, filter fun and cats, so many cats. When I close my eyes, darkness creeps inside, and I can't tell you why. But we forgot dreams, and we all get tired. But that doesn't mean throw out all the seeds and fall apart. What else can I buy? All I want is energy and time. My costs are running high. All the minute of supply, pursuit of money hides my muse. I've had all the angst I can't use. But we all got dreams, and we all get tired. But that doesn't mean throw out all the seeds and fall apart. If I could map my happy access would be bright. You'd see it intersect and intersect every line in blood and dot of blue. all wrapped up in your arms, tangled up in the dark, no intention of moving. There's laughter pouring in from the street, the pulse of the city can't compete with it. We tell ourselves we should go out, do something worth writing about. But all I came to see is in this room. Can we stay a little longer? The sun goes down, the moon comes up. Feel like I spent longer day. Stands as though I can make a mind wander. And can we stay longer? Espresso beans on a harvest breeze, a Blake Mills record on repeat, some kind of sensory dream. Held it together when we said goodbye, like I'm cool, I'm fine leaving you behind. It's the kind of thing that keeps me up at night. We keep missing each other, guess the timing's not right. Should we ever find ourselves in the same room? Can we stay a little longer? The sun goes down, the moon comes up. Feel like I spent longer day. Stands as though I can make a mind wander. And can we stay longer? Can we stay? Can we stay a little? Can we stay? Can we stay a little? Can we stay longer? Can we stay? Can we stay a little? Can we stay? Can we stay a little? Can we stay longer? Baby, you stop me in my tracks. I can't sleep, I can't relax. Baby, you stop me in my tracks. Even if I want it, I can't go back. You said it call me up anytime. used to fly my body all the way, but yet you know by the next day, yeah. Baby, I'll do what it takes to cause my body earthquake. Oh, my friend said, what's the use? You gave, you could bend, you could lose your head, but what's the use? Yeah, what good would it do? He's too lazy to love you. What good would it do? He's too lazy to love you. I don't acknowledge my presence on mine when you can't ask me how I am 6 months at a time. I'll let you show me what you really like. You know me busy slopping way in life. I'll make my retreat and fine. You start really once you've cut the line. Oh, my friend said, what's the use? You gave, you could bear, you could lose your hair, but what's the use? Yeah, what good would it do? He's too lazy to love you. What good would it do? He's too lazy to love you. Oh, my friend said, maybe if you weren't tired of asking all the questions, and maybe if he was just a little bit nicer. Oh, but you are, and he's not. So tell me, what good would it do? He's too lazy to love you. What good would it do? He's too lazy to love. What good would it do? He's too lazy to love you. What good would it do? He's too lazy to love you. I wish you never stopped me in my tracks. Still can't sleep.